The biblical evidence does not speak of Sunday as such, but it speaks about a counterfeit of the Sabbath being critical to the mark of the beast at the end of time. And we noticed that there were 4 possibilities, 4 options for a counterfeit Sabbath. Did you know that there were 4? One would be a different day than the Sabbath, and Sunday would be an example of that. A second option is that every day is the Sabbath, which means that no day would have any special significance. The third is that no day is the Sabbath. Sabbath was simply abolished by Jesus, and therefore we can worship on any day that we choose. And finally, some sort of legislation to forbid Sabbath keeping would be option number 4. So within exegesis of the biblical text, you do have options for understanding what the mark of the beast will actually turn out to be. Well, I'm so glad we have options. It reminds me of the teacher that taught my daughter Bible. She told her that there were 8 different ways to interpret Genesis 1. Our careful study of fulfilled prophecy, out of careful study from the book of Revelation, this is still the same person, and reading these statements from Ellen White with the biblical principles in mind, we should be careful guys, not to assume that the end times will be identical to the great controversy in every detail. Considering both the Bible and world history, were Ellen White alive today, there is at least a chance that her depiction of the end would be different than it was in the 1880s. If the end had come in Ellen White's lifetime, I have no doubt that it would have happened essentially the way that she said. Great controversy fits perfectly with exactly what was happening in the world in the 1880s. I think we make the mistake in putting lines in the sand and saying it must happen exactly this way, when in fact we see God being creative. He's not always predictable. Things have changed in the world. If God was giving a prophecy today, it wouldn't sound like what was given back then, because we're in a different world, different language, different circumstance, different time, different place. This is getting ridiculous. The Sunday law is the propagation of the false papal Sabbath. And that wasn't any day of the week. It was Sunday. And if you say any day but the Sabbath, then you'd undermine the beast whose mark it is. When the test comes, it will be clearly shown what the mark of the beast is. It is the keeping of Sunday. You cannot separate the mark from the beast, because the mark belongs to the beast.